If you happen to see a pack of angry little Cub Scouts picketing someplace, it'll probably be at a Linda Ronstadt concert, because Linda has openly defied a Cub regulation by wearing a Cub Scout uniform. Details and her current hit are coming up.
Casey's Coast to Coast. American Top 40.
Well, now I have the tune by the girl whose looks sure don't hurt the sale of her records and concert tickets. Now, without stepping over the boundary of good taste, I'd like to get across to you the picture of a performer who happens to be a rather beautiful, dark-haired woman in her late 20s, who has a very nice figure and doesn't dress for cold weather when she's on stage. And what she sings, in a great country rock style, are mostly love songs. So there's no arguing that sex isn't a big part of her overall image. And even so, she sees herself as a strong women's libber. Here's what she told Janet Maslin of Rolling Stone several months ago, quote, "People ask me why I'm not a feminist, and that's really crazy. You see, obviously I am, because I'm an independent woman. I have been since I was 18. I earn my own living. I'm dependent on no man. I'm a free agent. And I can do anything I want." End of quote. Well, that's Linda Ronstadt talking. And moving up to number 29 this week, here's Linda Ronstadt singing
American Top 40.
Time now in American Top 40 for the new number one song of the week. It's by a woman who's established herself with both rock audiences and country music audiences. And she does it in a double-barreled way. On this current hit record of hers, one side has just moved into the number one position on the pop chart, and the flip side is now at number 7 on the country chart. The irony is that when she turns on the radio for her own pleasure, what she listens to is soul music. One other thing. On the LP chart this week, her album, Heart Like a Wheel, moves into the number one spot. Now here she is with the most popular song in the land. At number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, Linda Ronstadt and You're No Good.
American Top 40.
We're up to the hit by the female superstar who's in trouble with 3.5 million little Cub Scouts all over America. Linda Ronstadt has been wearing the Cub uniform without authorization, and that's strictly against regulations. In fact, according to writer Bob Hilburn, she had to con a salesman in a Cleveland department store to sell it to her because ordinarily you have to show a Cub membership card to buy any part of the uniform. Well, Linda didn't have a card, but she convinced the salesman that she was buying it for her son back in California. Well, Linda has no children. She wanted the uniform to wear to concert performances. She likes the dark blue color. But before she wore the Cub uniform the first time, her conscience gave a little twinge. She worried about wearing it without authorization. Then she reasoned that since they don't have rock and roll merit badges, it should be okay. And she wore it that night in Cleveland. Also here in Los Angeles at her recent sold-out concert. Actually, I think most Cub Scouts are proud to have Linda Ronstadt wearing their uniform. She looks great in it. Her current hit moves up 4 notches this week to number 32, Blue Bayou.
I'm going back someday, oh, Blue Bayou.
Linda Ronstadt on American Top 40, 3rd week on the chart, moving up 4 to 32 this week. This is Casey Kasem on AT40 in Hollywood, and now I have the latest hit by Linda Ronstadt, who tells a funny story about a weird encounter she had with an unusual backstage critic. She told this story as an introduction to one of her big numbers during last year's standing room only concert tour. She said one night right after she finished her show, a rowdy young man came up to her backstage, holding a can of beer in one hand and swaggering like someone who had all the answers. He stopped Linda and demanded to know why she didn't play more rock and roll. Well, Linda looked her rude intruder in the eye and without missing a beat, issued this challenge. "Why don't you teach me a rock and roll song?" The guy said okay, and launched into an a cappella version of a song that had been a big top 10 hit by a well-known English group, a supergroup of which he is the lead singer. You see, Linda's outspoken fan just happens to be one of the biggest superstars of the rock era, Mick Jagger. And before we hear Linda's remake version of the song Mick taught her that night, let's listen to a little piece of the original song by the Stones. 1972, Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones. And holding at number 32 this week, here's Linda Ronstadt with her redo of their top 10 smash, Tumbling Dice. You're listening to American Top 40. My name's Casey Kasem. Well, now we're up to the $1 Million superstar who once took a big pay cut to do something that she loved. Ordinarily, this woman makes as much as $200,000 a week. Big money from her concerts and record sales, up to $10 million a year. But this woman wasn't satisfied with just conquering the world of rock and roll. So she looked to other projects outside of pop music. And in the summer of 1980, she took a job that paid scale. Actors Equity Scale, a union minimum of $400 a week. In fact, she probably would have been happy to do it for free. That's how much she wanted to play a certain role. The role of Mabel in the New York production of the Gilbert and Sullivan operetta, The Pirates of Penzance. And she also played the character in the movie version. Listen to her as she sings on Broadway.
Take heart of grace, thy steps retrace.
That's the operatic voice of Linda Ronstadt. The song is Poor Wandering One from Gilbert and Sullivan's Pirates of Penzance. This week, the versatile Linda Ronstadt is in our countdown singing a duet with James Ingram. At number 6, here's Somewhere Out There.
Out where dreams come true.
Somewhere out there where dreams come true. Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram from the animated film An American Tale. It's number 6 this week in our survey as the countdown rolls on.
Casey's Coast to Coast.